Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, my name is Lim. In today's video we're going to be trying out the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. So if you want to know what my opinion on this foundation is, just continue watching the video, and if you like the video, please help a girl out, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next clip. Okay, so the foundation comes in this silver packaging, and it just says foundation on the side, and then the name of the foundation, which is Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. It has 30ml, which is 1 fluid ounce, and this foundation claims that it's vegan, gluten-free, alcohol-free, clinically tested, dermatologist tested, ophthalmologist tested, non-comedogenic, suitable for sensitive skin, long wearing, and it has no flashbacks. So this foundation comes in 50 shades. So I'll just read you a bit of what the foundation claims and stuff like that. So it says, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation has gone above and beyond, giving you more than you could possibly ask for. Not only is water resistant, it is also flashback free and long wearing, providing medium coverage all day long. With a velvety consistency, the liquid both buildable and easy to blend, melting effortlessly into the skin. Thanks to the light reflecting particles, the formula is dewy at first but dries to a matte finish with a hint of luminosity. The weightless nature of this foundation makes it feel like a second skin, and it is so good on its own that you don't have to use setting powder. This foundation will quickly become your best friend, blurring imperfections without caking or masking your skin's natural radiance. So that is a lot of claim, and the good thing about this foundation that I like is it's alcohol free. Yeah. So we should test at the end if it really is like no flashback and how long wearing it is. So when you open it up, it's a black box, so, and this is basically the packaging. It's very similar to the NARS packaging, which is one of my favourite foundation. I'm not sure if I got the right shades. It's the shade range when you're picking it out online, it's pretty confusing, because when I looked for my shade, I kind of compared it to the model that was wearing it, and they went of N, W and C, so I thought N would be neutral and W would be warm tone, and then C would be cool tone, and I think this might be a bit too light for me. When I looked on the darker shade, it like had C next to it, so I thought it was cool tone, and my skin is kind of more like yellow and like warmer tone, so I didn't want to go for the cool tone. So that's my reason behind choosing this shade. But as you can tell, it's very far off from the NARS shade. Let me just turn that around so you can see. So as you can see, this is the Anastasia one, and it is very light. So we should be able to make it work if I just bronze up and stuff, because I do really want to try this for you guys. It feels heavy and doesn't feel cheap at all. I got 335W, so this is the shade I got. And if you kind of see that, like if you're kind of the same shade as me, maybe just go up a shade, because to be honest, this is probably about 2 shades down from me, so yeah. So this foundation also retails for £43 in the UK, which is like the most expensive foundation I've ever purchased in my life. So she better be a good ass bitch. So I'm just gonna take a Hansa Yelly. So I'm gonna prime on one side of my face. I'm not gonna use any primer that is like long wearing because I want to see how this foundation actually does with like the duration of how it lasts on the skin. So I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Baby Skin. This basically just kind of fills the pore, and it kind of does blur the pore a little bit, but it doesn't do too much. So I want to see if I put a primer on this side of the face and not this side, will that foundation still blur my pores and stuff? So at the moment my skin is kind of problematic. I have a lot of spots right now, so I guess it's a good time to test how, like, what the coverage is like. And I'm also going to see if this foundation is able to build up to full coverage. I'm going to use a sponge on this side of my face and a brush on this side of my face, just to see, like, just in case one of you guys like to put it, like, use a sponge, or you guys like to use a brush, so you can see how it applies. This foundation applies by me using both. So yeah, I'm pretty scared that this foundation is going to be light for me. Okay, so I'm just squeezing it onto the back of my hand, but it's not coming out. Okay, that took a fuck ton of squeezing. Okay, so I took one pump, so this is how much you get out of it for one pump. Can't remember which side I said. Okay, I think I said I was going to do this side with the sponge. Okay, so let's go in. Okay, yeah, that is a really light shade. Okay, I'm just gonna blend it down my neck. I think it's fine, but if I just went up maybe a shade, one or two more, it might have matched me better. So first applying it, it's very easy to blend out. It does have that sheen to it, but it's not that dewy to me, to be honest. I did use that whole pump for just half of my face, but normally I would get a full pump. I mean, it's very lightweight. Like, I don't feel it being heavy at all, so I guess it's right in that part. And it's got like a bit of a sheen on my cheeks. You know what? I do like the finish. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's actually kind of nice. And it doesn't seem to be hogging on to any dry patches of mine, because my skin is really dry, as you probably all know that because I tell you in every single video apparently. So yeah, it's not drying onto any dry patches whatsoever, so that's great, because every foundation apart from my NARS one literally like hangs on. Where is she gonna replace my NARS? Okay, so the spot, it didn't really cover that much, so yeah, like it claims, it's definitely a medium coverage. It's not full. So I'm going to do this face with a brush, and then we're going to come back and see if we can build it up to a full coverage and completely cover my spot. And around my nose, foundation usually gathers a lot around my nose, and it doesn't seem to be gathering at all. So we're just going to go in with the other side. You know what? I don't think this shade's bad at all, actually. It's kind of just... Yeah, because normally when a foundation shade is too light for me, it normally looks grey around my forehead. And this doesn't look grey around my forehead at all. Okay, I'm pretty happy. I'm not going to lie. Pretty happy. So I'm just going to put on another pump onto my brush and then just wet in. So I do have like a dark pigmentation right here on the side, so we're gonna see if it covers it. So yeah. Okay, so right off I can see that using a brush is giving it more coverage than using a sponge. And it is not covering the dark pigmentation at all. But it does blend out really fast. Even though the brush side looks like it gives me more coverage, and it looks more dewy actually, now that I can see it from this side. It does look dewy, but I think I like applying it more with a sponge. Even though it doesn't give a lot of coverage, like, I don't know. And the brush is kind of just... Like with the sponge, it kind of looks like it's melted in my skin. But with a brush, it kind of looks like it's just laying on top. So I'm not sure. You know what? I actually really like this shade on me. I'm not mad at that. But it is not covering my... Would you call it pigmentation? Dark spot? I don't know. But basically, it's not covering it. So I'm not too sure about that. Okay, we're going to try and build this side up and then this bit up to see if it layers well. Okay, so I just put more on my sponge. I'm just going to go on this area because that's the area where it needs coverage more. I mean, it covers it. It doesn't, far away, it doesn't look like I have a spot there at all. It kind of looks like skin. So I'm gonna put a bit on my, what the fuck is this finger called? Basically on my finger, and just put it right here. And I'm just gonna tap it with my brush. Okay, no. Okay, so what's really good about this foundation is that if you have any problem area, it's very lightweight, it's dewy, like it said, and if you have any problem area, you just put a bit on your finger and then just tap it in. And the imperfection is just kind of gone. I really like the finish of this foundation. And I don't think the colour's bad at all. I don't really have anything bad to say. Like, usually foundation will just go on my smile line, but it doesn't seem to be doing that really. So this is what it looks like right now. In my mirror it looks like skin. Doesn't look cakey like it says. So I am just going to see if other products, like how it layers on with this foundation. So I'm going to see what it's like with my concealer and my cream bronzer. And I'm just going to put my concealer a bit much. I mean, it has no problem at all blending in with my concealer. It's kind of just melting in together, because usually it doesn't. Okay. And I could also still see that dewiness peek through my concealer, but it's not dewy on other parts of my face apart from the highlighted like area where you normally see the light hit your face. So that is pretty great, I'm not gonna lie. Is it worth £43? We have to wait to see how long this foundation lasts. I'm going with my cream blonde contour first. Yeah, the contour also is blending in to the foundation seamlessly. And just adding that contour is making the foundation look even more like my skin. I'm really liking my base. My base actually looks like really natural actually. Okay, that's a lie. But it just looks like my skin. And it just looks really pretty, you know? Okay, so I am gonna go in with my powder now. Basically, I'm gonna powder this bit, see if you don't really like that radiant, if powder would just take that shine away, or will that dewiness, that luminosity will still be there after you powder. which I do hope it does, because I do like more of a dewy skin. I mean, it has kind of mattified it a bit, but I can still see in my mirror that luminosity seep through. Maybe it's because of, they said, of the reflective particles. What was it? Hold on. It said like reflecting particles. So I actually do agree with that statement, because even though I am powdering, I am still seeing that reflective, like the reflectiveness of this foundation, which is crazy, because most foundation, the minute you go in with a powder, it just mattifies it, which I really don't like, because I'm not a big fan of powder. The skin does not feel sticky whatsoever, because most foundation that you wear, your foundation is still sticky without setting it, and I haven't set along this bit, so, and it's like not sticky whatsoever. I'm not gonna lie, this might be my new favourite foundation. Okay, so I'm now just gonna go and finish off the rest of my makeup, and I will come back and let you know how my bronzer or stuff like that kind of goes onto the skin, and I'll just be right back. So I'm actually now back. It's actually been 3 hours and a half that took me to put this on. Not because it actually took me about 20 minutes to basically do my makeup, but I was like doing stuff in between because I had to like sort some stuff out. So so to be honest, after 3 hours and then actually putting the cream and stuff, the powder and stuff on top, it was still absolutely fine. The powder, all my makeup went on smoothly onto my face. So before that, I mentioned that the shade was really light for me. Like it's light in the bottle, but I feel like it does oxidize a bit. Even though it says it doesn't oxidize, in my opinion, it did oxidize. Which is, to be honest, not a problem for me at all. To be honest, it's like a blessing in disguise, because this would have been, well, I could have made it work, but it's better that it oxidized for me, so then it just kind of blends into my skin more. So before I said to maybe get a shade up, I don't think you really need to do that, because even though I got maybe a shade lighter than me, it didn't really affect it that much, because whilst you wear it, it does oxidize. You can kind of see if it's worth you buying it, if it oxidizes or not, but in my opinion, I think it's not a problem for me whatsoever. I really like this foundation. Do I think it's worth £43? No! Fuck's sake! So do I think that this foundation is worth £43? I'm not quite sure, but you know, you can weigh it up. If you don't want to spend £43 on this, a really similar one to this is my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, which retails for £34. So massive. It was not massive, but like it's a few pounds down from this. But the one thing I have noticed, this is more radiant than my NARS, which I prefer it more because I like my face to be luminous, And even though I've worn it for about 3.5 hours, it still has that luminosity to the skin, and it looks very skin-like, and it doesn't look like, I don't know, it doesn't look cakey whatsoever. But another thing I do have to mention about this foundation is, if you're the type of person who likes full coverage, I don't think this is for you. It has good coverage, but it's not full. Maybe you can build it up, but you'll probably end up using too much product, and then your 43 is like gone like that. So, you know, when you weigh it up, maybe if you're looking for a full coverage, I don't recommend it for that. But if you're looking for an everyday foundation, or even to events, and you're not looking for that full coverage, it's amazing. Like, I can't fault it. I do kind of think £43 is a bit too high for it, but I have not found a foundation that I have liked in a very long time. So this is moving into my highly recommended foundation for any of you that are looking for a foundation. I will just show you a close-up of the foundation. Okay, hi guys, so this is the second checkup of the day, I guess. So it actually has been about 6 hours that I've had this makeup on, and the foundation still looks like the first time that I put it on, so it's going great. And the longevity, normally makeup would kind of wear off on me for about 4 hours, so it's doing great at the moment. So okay, so this is the last checkup of the day. So it is now about 10. I've worn this for about 8 or 9 hours. It is still wearing fine, but it is a bit oily around the T-zone, and it has kind of gathered around my nose. But to be honest, I'm not complaining, because it has lasted 8 hours, and normally foundation do not last as long on me, so I'm very happy. So this is it at the end of the video. I really hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one.